Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let's give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku and we also had Mineta. These two are two sides of the same coin. Deku was bitten by a radioactive spider, and he gained the abilities of the spider. Super strength, super durability, and the ability to shoot webs from his wrist. Meanwhile, Mineta, he consumed the spider, and he became a living swarm of them. 1,000 exactly. Now, these two, they had very different upbringings. And Deku, while he's learning about responsibility, Mineta is learning about control. He's learning about, well, dominating the wills of people. Now, Deku, whenever he encountered Mineta for the first time, the two met in an alleyway, where Deku wasn't really too sure what to even say. I mean, he encountered a giant fucking spider, and apparently it's sentient and a hive mind. So there's that. Now, Deku, he was still trying to work on his homemade costume. He got the name down, but yeah, that's still up for interpretation. Now, Deku, he did not get much sleep last night, and right now, he is trying to figure out what to do. There's a number of things happening, and Deku, he's not really too sure if he's ready for a lot of them. I mean, he's just getting accustomed to these powers. It's been a little over 2 weeks, and right now, he's still trying to figure things out. The biggest problem right now isn't the death of his father. It's the fact that there's a living swarm trying to take over his life, or what exactly is this thing's goals, really? Because it's eating people from the inside out. Now, we do currently have Deku. Deku does sit in class, and right now he's thinking about a lot. He's definitely going to try and figure this out. Okay, so he needs a lot of bug killer, or raid, I guess? Yeah, he just needs a lot of something to kill bugs. But that's a problem, though. This thing is massive. It's huge, and he's not really too sure how he can stop it. I mean, if it replicates fast, then that means he'll have a problem. But it hasn't been making moves. Yes, there are missing persons report, but no one's reporting giant spiders. And right now, Deku, he is scrolling through his phone after a test. And a few people, they actually are looking at him. Deku, he's usually very shy. He's very hidden. He leans over a certain way, and he does try to make himself smaller. But Deku, his back is straight. He is looking at his phone as if he's determined. And some people are noticing that Deku, he's actually got a little bit of confidence behind him. So, something's clearly been happening. And they're not really too sure what. Now, Deku, he does have a few ideas. But most importantly, he's also concerned. Hive minds like this are theoretical science, and there's one teacher in school he knows he can talk to. And, well, yeah, he's gonna go do that today. The bell gonna ring, and Deku, he actually does go to leave. Hey, I'm gonna try and talk to the science teacher. Whenever he does go to arrive, the man he's actually kind of intrigued. Deku he poses multiple questions, and the teacher, they're actually kind of impressed. Deku wanted to talk theories and physics, but most importantly, he wanted to talk about hypothetical physics, such as the idea of widespread consciousness. So, well, this is definitely an interesting conversation from a smart person, so he'll see where this goes. Alright, so I'm just a little confused then. Can you pose the question the best way that you can? Okay, I've been thinking about it a lot, and Theoretically, hive minds are possible, correct? In theory, yes. But there's no way to really know. I mean, for humans, that's inconsistent. Human brainwaves are not meant to be used as a hive mind pattern. But certain animals use pheromones. We know that much. We're still doing research and still learning quite a few things, but there's certain fungus and bacteria that do operate similarly, but not exactly. Can you explain? Well, that's sort of hard. They're single cell organisms. They're microscopic. So sometimes whenever they communicate, they do work together. But they're not a hive mind. That's a very good example. And sometimes they work in tandem. Think about it like this. Your body is composed of cells. The way they work together isn't considered a hive mind because of the nervous system. Really? Yes, that's the best way to put it. There's also another factor. How does our nervous system work exactly? Well, I would say our brain. And what is our brain powered by? Electricity. Exactly. Basically, it's like this. The electricity running through our bodies that allow our nerves to work and our bodies to work, they're quite simple. There are things firing in our brains that make me be able to do this. Bend my hands, bring them up like that. But it's not a hive mind. Okay. Yeah. A certain amount of electricity could make my muscles go haywire, out of my control. But even then, they're not being controlled by somebody else. That's a bit off topic, isn't it? Sorry, I got a little too into the conversation there. But hmm, yeah, I'm sorry. This isn't really my field of research. That's more, well, I'd say theorist, or I don't even really know, animal science, but I'm not that type of researcher. Oh, okay. Why exactly are you so fascinated by this concept recently? Oh, I've been playing a video game? I see. Well, try not to stay up too late and try not to let it affect your schoolwork. I know you're still going through quite a bit. Oh, uh, yeah, sorry. I've just been trying to stay busy. Yeah, I have. Well, I can understand that. I've been a little busy myself, and since you're actually here, would you like to see some research I have? Uh, sure. Now, the teacher does get a turn. Then I'm going to bring their handout to their desk, pulling it open, and then I'll grab a stack of papers. I'm going to pull it out and ask if Izuku can keep this quiet, because he's kind of aware that this does sound a little bit more unethical. Unethical. Have you heard of gene splicing? I have, Mr. Chizaki, but exactly why is that being brought up now? Well, you brought up the hive mind theory, and, well, since we're talking about cells and the way that they might react to each other, and I got off topic with that, I kind of went back to my research. But, here, take a look at this. The man gonna hand over the paper, and Deku goes to look down. The man gonna open his mouth. However, Deku, his eyes won't gonna widen. And the moment that does happen, the man is gonna realize something. Deku can understand that. So, he does this so quietly. And Deku starts to flip through the papers. No, no way. That, that's possible? Theoretical, yes. It's still under development and not fully fleshed out, but hopefully that can work. Really? Yeah, I'm really hoping for it. Why is that? Izuku, this could be the cure to cancer. You're serious? So why are you sitting on this? Because I'm worried about what might happen. What are you talking about? Izuku, God, listen. I I've been diagnosed. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Not your fault. Listen, I know I don't got a lot longer left, so I'm conducting this research and hopefully I'll do something with it. Leave it behind for a great mind, but I'm also so close to a breakthrough. I didn't know. I can help you out if you want. Yeah, that would be much appreciated. Um, do you have time today or actually I really don't. I have to run back home and help out my mom. She she hasn't been doing too well, has she? No, she hasn't. No, I understand. Listen, I do appreciate telling you that and finally at least getting that off my chest a bit. I hope your research goes well. So do I. And if you need some help, I can probably help develop something with you, hopefully. Yeah. So far this research is experimental. So far the research is just experimental. Now, Deku doesn't understand. I'm going to turn and walk away. And Mr. Chizuki does look to have his smile drop from his face. Theoretical. Yeah, he wishes it was just that. Now, currently the men does stand up and head to the school science lab. And Deku? He doesn't head back home. He has a lot on his mind. I mean, a lot to think about. If the hive mind works like a human body, then there's a nervous system. And, hmm, that's a good theory to try and test. Now, someone is walking up to Deku, them bring their hand up onto his shoulder. I'm gonna turn. Oh, hi. Hey, man. Can I talk to you? Not really. Saro, I gotta get home and... No, man. It'll take just a second. Saro? Hi, Izuku. Or should I be calling you Spider Boy? What the hell are you talking about? You killed my spiders. Who are you? Okay, good. You're not playing dumb anymore. Listen, this, appearance, I can use it to my advantage. So stay out of my way. I want what you have. What are you talking about? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, misspoke for a second. Still getting used to all this. I want you to stop. Hand over your body, and no one gets hurt. Can you really say that? I can, yeah. Besides, Izuku, I know exactly how you feel about your mom. Now, Deku is going to glare directly at Sero. And then, Mineta, he has this one smile. As Deku is going to fully face him. Say what you're going to say very carefully. Hmm? I strike a nerve? Listen, stay out of my way. No, not going to happen. I want to take over your body. It's going to happen one way or another. Besides, what are you really going to do about this? Now, Deku's confused. It's after school. There's not many people here. And right now, Mineta, he does get a burst from Sero's skin. As about, let's say maybe 50 spiders or so, they try to attack Deku. And Deku does going to do one thing. He leaps backwards and away, him looking around. Why didn't his spider sense go off? That being confusing. As right now Deku goes on land onto the ground. Okay, so His danger sense doesn't work on this guy? That's not that's not good. Okay, okay. What to do? Now, a spider just started to rush towards Deku. And Deku, whenever he does go to throw his hand out, he does also smash it down. Him going to turn and web up another spider. As Deku, he does start to web up the smaller ones. Him trying to fight off the bigger ones. Him punching into many of them, as there actually sort of one, it does go to bite directly into Deku's hand. And Deku, when that does actually happen, he does not pull his hand back. Him looking at the wound. Ah, fuck. Now, Deku starts to feel his hand tense up. Before, he has a look at the other spiders. Him going to blast out his webs. Now, Deku just start to web up all the spiders together. And he does this move forwards and smash some of them. And there actually is one, it does try to use one of his massive arms to swing at him. And whenever it does get a hit Deku, Deku does notice something. The strength in that spider went down. So, Deku brings his hand up, smash it down onto it. As Deku, he has to turn and run directly where he can. He needs to get somewhere safe. That on his mind. He can't feel his left arm. Shit. That being on his mind. Him currently running somewhere out in public. Before whenever Deku, he does go to get home, he does try to stay still. Now, whenever Deku walked through the door, his mother, she was in the kitchen. And Deku, he was already feeling the effects of everything. He tried his best to get home fast, but he almost ended up on a rooftop. If he ended up somewhere in broad daylight, that thing could have found him. And the best thing to do if he was going to be stuck would be to get home. So he did have to somewhat swing here. Now, Deku, he does feel himself tense up. And right now he can't move a muscle. And it actually is a bit bad. His body is trying its best to try and fight this off. It was able to use its regenerative properties to fight off the toxin enough for Deku to have time. A normal human would have succumbed within minutes. But Deku, it took him almost 20. His arm went numb in 2. And that was bad. Now, Deku, his body slowly but steadily started to recover. But in that amount of time, Deku tried to think. Okay, so the hive mind, that's definitely something. He has to find out where they are. The best way to take them down. I mean, he definitely has to do that. Now, Inko eventually does go to walk upstairs. Her knocking on Deku's door and trying to tell him that dinner's ready. And Deku, he does somewhat just lay there in bed, talking about how he'll get dinner whenever he's hungry, but right now he just wants to sit here and think. And Inko does go stare at her son, who he looks like he's stiff as a board. Izuku, are you okay? I'm fine, Mom. Just, trying to think. Now, Deku does attempt to move his hand, and there actually is where some feeling is back in his left fingers. And Deku, he does at least try to think. He has to figure this all out. I mean, school, he's not safe there. Home, he's not safe. The guy will come by again. So he has to be prepared. Ready. No. He threatened his mom. Then on Deku's mind. And Deku, he does also crunch his hand into a fist. As he does try to sit up. He feels stiff. But right now whenever Deku does sit up, he does put in more effort. And Inko does start to notice. Deku does go sit up telling his mother that he'll have dinner later, but he has to talk to someone. A friend of his. He's gonna go out. Okay, Izuku, just don't come home too late. Yeah, I'll do that, Mom. Now, Deku, he does go to suit up. And after he does somewhat go to clean his wound, he does at least try to think. Okay, so the spiders have a venom. Some sort of paralytic agent, but only certain spiders have that, and does he have that? He's not gonna start fucking biting people just to try and find that out. Okay, so the biter that the spider that bit him gave him powers, but it also gave him powers. The two are almost opposites. Okay, so the spiders together are weaker. He's fairly certain a stronger hive mind means a stronger connection. And individually, the spiders. Hmm. The one spider in the alleyway the other night, he crunched it, and it was just a little spider. And then that big one, the big one that tried to chase him. Hmm. This makes more sense. Now, Deku, he has a new discovery. And right now, we do actually have an abandoned warehouse, where the spider, it was annoyed. And the school, they were quite in shock. People, they found these giant spiders. And whenever people started talking about them, people didn't believe it. However, pictures started to spread, and that's it quite a bit. Now, the moment people found that out, there actually was Mineta. Mineta, he can't hide. People know he exists, but some believe him to be a hoax. So, maybe he should try and make a debut. Try and take over as many people as possible. I mean, Iron Man, he won't respond fast, and any other of those supposed hero guys, they're not really in this part of town, right? So if he does it fast, he'll have thousands. But he's already at hundreds. Hmm. He doesn't like that. Now, we currently have Deku. Deku, he does move out. He tries to look for the spiders. He has ideas as to where they could be. And right now, whenever Deku, he does head out hours after the bite, the spider, or the thousand, he acts a bit more surprised. Deku, his body fought off the agent, and that means he can't get Deku at the moment. He may still be weakened, but he is still powerful. Now, Deku is going to head out, and right now he does decide to try and take responsibility for this. Because with great power comes great responsibility. The ability to use it. If you don't, well, you're just letting things happen. The ability to stop them, that is what separates you from, well, average. Now, Deku, he does swing around the city, and a few people are going to look up. There's. Holy shit, that guy is fucking crazy. How is he doing that with elastic bands? That being on someone's mind. As currently Deku, he does a swing through the air. Him going to shoot a web. As currently whenever Deku is going to fly overhead, someone does going to look up. As a blonde girl does to see the man swing by. He looks sort of like a spider. Now, some people are starting to report on this. And right now, Deku, there is where he does land on a building. Him going to land, and then someone go to shake off his knees. That was a bit rough. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, his arm's a little tired, so definitely. Definitely he should probably try and do something with that. Okay, so fire. Spiders hate fire and they're not that powerful, but he'll be overwhelmed if he sends out all of them. Now, Deku does to hear a scream, and then he has a turn. Him going to look down and see what's going on. As right now, there are massive spiders, some the size of dogs, and others, they are tinier. They are larger, but they vary in size. And right now the spiders, they are all trying to attack people. And while that does happen, Deku hears this one leap down. Him landing on a car as he's gonna turn. Him looking at a few of the people. Him going to grab someone and gonna turn and run. As he does start to shout for everyone to get away from the spiders. Now, right now Deku, he has this one turn. hearing a girl scream, as right now a giant spider, it webbed into her leg, and it tried to pull her in. And Deku, he saw the blonde girl. He recognized the voice. And Deku, he immediately ran over. Him running up and going to throw his hands directly at the spider. Him going to send it flying with a punch. And Deku, the moment he does this, send that thing flying, smashing into other spiders, they're just going to turn back. Him grabbing the girl with his hand and then going to pull her up. Him going to bring his hand up and shoot a web. Him going to pull onto it as he's going flying into the air. And the girl just continues to scream. Now, while that does happen, there actually is Mineta. Mineta found him. And Deku, he actually is going to land on a rooftop. Him going to set the girl down as it's... Toga? What the hell is going on? Hey, listen. You need to be careful. You need to get out of here. You flew. No, just jumped good. Listen, it's a lot to explain right now. Just go, hide, get as far away from here as possible. Now, Toga does a point behind her, and Deku is going to turn. Him saying the massive arachnid, as he's going to run forwards and throw his fist out at it. Now, Toga does watch Deku fight the spider, and Deku, he actually is going to bring up his hand. Him throwing out his left hand and going to try and web down one of his legs. However, that's only one. And there are 7 more. Now, the arachnid, well, it does try to fight Deku. Others, they're trying to get him. And currently Deku, he does just want to start throwing out his own force. He knows that the bigger spiders might be stronger because of the smaller ones. So, how about a bit of a game? That being on Deku's mind. Now, Deku, he does at least try to tell the spider, "Hey, he's over here, right? He wanted him." The giant spider turning away from Toga, who tried to make her exit, but she found herself trapped under the building. And Deku yelled at him, "Come on, Mineta, he's right here." Now, currently, that was where Mineta, he got annoyed. The giant spider pulling out its leg as it was going to turn, rushing towards Deku. And Deku, he is going to step backwards off of the building, as the girl, she tried to look at that. There's no way that guy just did that. And then Deku, he threw out his left hand, allowing his spider sense to guide him. Him hitting something sturdy, and then going to swing backwards. As Deku, he actually is going to pull his hand forwards, and then going to start wrapping himself up. Him going to pull himself in, as he's going to land on a light post. And this does give him somewhat of an idea. Now, Deku is going to look around, seeing one across the street, as he's going to throw out his hand and shoot a web. Him hitting onto a fire hydrant, as he's going to pull out the water. Now, Deku does start to do that. And there actually is Mineta. Mineta is shouting, "You know, he's really annoying. Come on, Mineta. I'm right here. Come on. You can't hit me. You can't hit me. Shut up." Now, the spider is trying to attack Deku, the one smashing into a car, as right now it does go to smash very heavily into it. And Deku, when he does it back away, he does something to crunch onto something. Him smashing onto a spider and turning around, as one the size of a basketball does try to leap at his face. And Deku does going to bring up his hands, grabbing onto it. Before, when it tries to bite at his nose, Deku does going to throw it away hard, as he's going to bring up his hand and web it to a wall. Now, Deku is going to look around, starting to web up many of the spiders as the water starts to fill the street. Now, Deku is going to look around. Okay, him trying to run. Him going to smash in the fire hydrants to knock the water loose. And right now, Deku, he does somewhat still piss off Mineta. And the hundreds of spiders here, they are still wreaking havoc. Some have consumed people, and others, they have not been having fun. And right now there actually is the Hive King, as I'll call him, who does stand there, in his original skin. Now, Deku, he does go to look up and see the man. Before, he does have an idea. The water, it's filling the streets. Deku going to look at one of the drains. Him going to web it up and try and stop it from at least letting the water loose. And right now the guy does stare at Deku. What's he doing? He's just causing havoc, and the guy's pissing him off. "Hey, you up there!" The person looking down. And Deku doesn't get a turn. him shouting that if you want to try and get him, come down here himself. Now, Mineta's gonna leap down, and right now Deku, he does face off against 1,000 spiders. Now, Mineta does try to rush at Deku, and Deku, whenever Mineta does go rush towards him, he does throw his fist out. Deku smashing into Mineta's body as ow, 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 ow. Now, Mineta is gonna throw out a fist, hitting Deku and sending him flying. Deku smashing into a car and landing, as he is gonna try and get back up. Now, Deku, he's not sure how much longer this can work. Okay, so him looking down. There's a big enough puddle on the street. Okay, you can't beat me, Izuku. Deku turning his head and seeing Mineta. And Mineta does try to talk about it. Deku going to turn and throw out his left hand, whipping himself to a wall. And then Deku, he actually does want to leap onto it and land. As Deku he does a turn and throw out his wrist and try and shoot out a web as nothing happens. No, he can run out of these things. Now, Deku does start his wrist, and Mineta he does a smile. As Deku, he does look up and see the spiders. Now, Deku he does want to stand on the wall, him going to punch down and kick into many of them, before he does just go to turn and leap back down onto the ground. Now, right now Deku, he does have a few ideas. Him going to look at a few of the cars. Okay, him reaching down and grabbing a tire, and trying to think. Okay, will this work? No. They start to pull, and surprisingly this thing comes off without any difficulty. That actually fucking worked? How strong is he? Now, Deku does feel something start to move towards him. And right now, Deku, he does get to hear the steps. They're wet, but there's a ton of them. And Deku, he actually does go to turn, leaping up into the air and throwing out the tire. Him going to smash it directly into a street lamp as hard as he can. And the lamp is going to break and bust, going to fall over as electricity just start to course out the entire waterway. Now, the thousand start to scream out. And Deku, he does start to look around. He sees some of the spiders. There's tons of them on the street. But right now, some of the ones that have been trying to whip up victims, Deku, he does need to take care of. Now, Deku does start to do what he can. There were hundreds and hundreds of spiders on the street. And right now, after news coverage starts to see the fight, I guess, they're a bit more confused. As Deku, he is seen by people pulling people off of walls, covered in spider webs, and even attacking what looks to be spiders. So what the hell is going on? Now, Deku, he did what he could. But right now, there currently is one spider remaining. And it is tiny. It's angry. How could it have been fooled? Of course, he fucked up. Okay, so he has to get away. He has to make sure everything turns out fine. He just has to find somebody. He just has to make sure he can do this. This being where someone just gonna stomp down directly onto the spider. As they do, someone gotta look around. Today has been weird. They're gonna bring their hand up and light a cigarette. Huh. So what should they do next? Well, he's kind of busy and crap. He does have to hurry fast. His research. There's only so much he can do before his disease takes a toll on him. So, what to do? Right. The Auto Project, or the Octopus Project. The name still sounds bad, but maybe he can work on that. Figure a few things out and see where he can go from there. Now, right now, Otto, he was gonna walk away. Unaware, he just stopped one of the biggest threats Deku could have ever faced, if they learned how to control their powers properly. Now, Deku, he does swing back home, and he does figure a few things out. Or he doesn't swing back home, but he does gonna run back home, parkouring his way there, and eventually making it there. Yeah, he ran out of webs. My bad. Now, Deku, whenever he does get back home, he hears on the news about what happened. the Spider, or as many people call him, the Spiderling. No, no, he's definitely gonna have to try and tell us something about that next time he's on TV. Or wait a minute, he's on TV now. Deku does get excited, and the world they do see about the Spider-Man. And right now, somebody they do to watch the television. Them surprised, but then again, they're also worried. He's out there using his powers. He's out there doing something. And from what they saw, somebody else was bitten by the spider. Or they just developed strange powers? What the hell went wrong with that one guy? He turned into them? Jesus Christ. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys on the next part.